The chair thanks the gentlewoman and recognizes the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Gohmert, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. General Holder, back April 27, 2011, at my request, Chairman of this committee, Lamar Smith, sent a letter to the Justice Department asking for the documents in the Holy Land Foundation that had been used to prosecute them. And since then, we've had an ongoing back and forth. Most recently, I had a letter June 13th of 2013 asking for the documents, and I was fairly specific to make sure that I got the documents that the Department of Justice handed over to people convicted of supporting terrorism. They're terrorists. We've given them the documents, the Justice Department has, and my information is that they've now been put on discs and sent to Illinois, so we know they're easily provided, just not to members of Congress. But in the response, after 7 months approximately from my letter in June, I'm told, well, there's a link. Here's a link that will have nearly 500 publicly available exhibits that were admitted into evidence, and then was also told to check the public access to court electronic records. Attorney General, I've read in the Fifth Circuit opinion about 9,600 summaries of transcripts of conversations that the Justice Department had that were made available to attorneys for the terrorists. I still do not understand why your department can provide documents to terrorist lawyers, and many of them to 4 out of 8 of the terrorists, and not provide them to members of Congress. All I'm asking again is, could we please get the documents that have been put on discs, that of the 9,600 summaries of transcripts and the documents that were produced to the terrorists, and not some link, but documents that you made available, or your department made available to the terrorists? I renew my request.
Well, I think what we promised to do is to provide you and your staff with
Sir, I've read you what your department promised, and it is inadequate, and I realize that contempt is not a big deal to our Attorney General, but it is important that we have proper oversight.
You don't want to go there, buddy.
So,
you don't want to go there, okay?
I don't want to go there?
No.
About the contempt?
You should not assume that that is not a big deal to me. I think that it was inappropriate. I think it was unjust. But never think that that was not a big deal to me. Don't ever think that.
Well, I'm just looking for evidence, and normally we're known by our fruits, and there have been no indications that it was a big deal, because your department has still not been forthcoming in producing the documents that were the subject of the contempt. Now, let me move on. There have been other questions asked about
the documents that we were prepared to make available then, we're prepared to make available now, that would have obviated the whole need. This was all about the gun lobby and a desire to have a...
So we've been trying to get to the bottom of Fast and Furious, where people died, where at least a couple hundred Mexicans died, and we can't get the information to get to the bottom of that. So I don't need lectures from you about contempt.
And I don't need lectures from you either.
It is very difficult to deal with asking questions. As a former judge, I'd never have asked questions of someone who's been held in contempt. We waited till the contempt was purged, and then we asked questions. Let me ask you, do you think someone who believes marriage is between a man and a woman violates the civil rights of a same-sex couple?
Somebody's personal belief?
Yes.
No.
How about if they have a business and they believe that?
If they have a business, if a business has
if it's a private business and the owners of the private business believe marriage is between a man and a woman, are they violating a same-sex couple's civil rights, in your opinion?
Well, that's obviously a matter that is under consideration by the courts, and we have taken a position on that. I wouldn't want to get into something that is, as I said, a pending matter.
Well, it is your opinion that matters on whether you tell attorneys general how to act in the states, or how you approach businesses or individuals that have this biblical view that the president had when he was a senator in 2008. So I thought it was rather important. Well, let me ask you.
The time of the gentleman has expired.